Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
This is The Long War. I'm Rob Baer. Joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher, Mike Haspil, and Wyatt Turk. What's up, guys?
Yo, dog, great to be here.
Greetings and felicitations.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, I saw you bopping your head to my intro.
I hear a dog or something?
That is definitely a dog or something.
Somebody's walking their dog outside my apartment.
It is the tiniest but most loudest of dogs.
Yeah, I hear it a lot.
I'm going to need you to roll up, open the door, and tell them, don't you know the fucking Long War podcast is recording right now?
You filthy animal.
Yeah, before we get
go ahead.
Oh, yeah, before we get going too far, I don't know if people have heard, but Dave Ledbetter is in the hospital and he's not doing too well. So
no.
Throw some thoughts and prayers his way or whatever, you know. He's a good dude, friend of the show, so hopefully he pulls it out.
Absolutely.
It sucks.
Trying to get my chat open again. There we go. Okay. So this week I think we have a little bit more structured of a show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not gonna say like last week wasn't a dope podcast. It did well, and people seem to respond to it. This week we have a couple of things that we're required to report on, and then maybe next week we'll go back to fuck it. Talk about Mass Effect some more.
I mean, I'm down to talking about whatever. I'm prone to say a bunch of stupid shit from time to time.
Yeah. Mike Haspil can give us his thoughts and opinions of IP theft, like cereal mug.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that IP theft. It was just kind of
definitely.
But yeah, I was just like, what? And if you guys don't know, there's like an ad going around for a cereal mug. Like, no kidding. Keeps your cereal dry, like while front separated from the milk or something. And I'm not entirely sure how it works, but
it's definitely better than our cereal mug. No lie.
Yeah, our cereal mug was like a mug.
A mug.
Yeah, but it doesn't say Long War on it. It's not the same. It doesn't say Long War.
Technically, any cylinder with the Long War logo on it could, in a pinch,
double as a cereal mug.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a silly putty egg right. Oh, it doesn't open right. Never mind. We can't use this as a cereal mug because it opens the wrong way.
Cereal bowl. Oh, we already have those. Damn
cereal
it.
Floaty.
It was like cereal bowl. Oh.
Remember eating cereal out of like whatever random plastic container was like there because that's just how you grew up. Like, you're like, oh, this country crock spread. Like,
I'd say like 90% of the time I eat cereal out of a Tupperware container.
Definitely done that.
Well, I mainly do it because like they have more girth than like regular bowls.
Yeah,
they do have a wide stance.
Yeah, definitely get a girthier amount, like a better quality quantity. You know, quantity is its own quality.
100%.
You've been so desperate to eat cereal, you pour like orange juice in it instead of milk.
Absolutely. Cornflakes and orange juice, staple of my trailer park years. Yeah. 100%. Well, fuck it. Let's do it. Would you rather with Wyatt roll out to his cable wonders?
Oh, yeah. Would you rather bare knuckle box Teddy Roosevelt or publicly debate against John F. Kennedy?
This is a good one. I'm gonna pick bare knuckle box against Teddy Roosevelt because he is just a personal hero of mine, and so getting my ass handed to me by Teddy Roosevelt would be a life achievement. Awesome. I'd be like, you can't talk to me that way. I got my ass kicked by Teddy Roosevelt once.
Didn't he get shot, like giving a speech, like attempted assassination, and just like finished the speech?
His speech was so thick that the folded up paper stopped the bullet.
Yeah. And then he finished the speech. He didn't go away. He like finished the speech. He was like, that's it. Unimpressed. Like,
Yeah.
Should have gone for the head.
I mean, gunshots are so much more effective when you go for the head, I feel like. That's why I don't understand why none of these Space Marines have helmets on. Anyways, regardless.
So I was just reading up on Teddy Roosevelt's boxing pedigree. Just so
you're not going to win.
So I can make an informant. They said it's possible that he might be like the world's first mixed martial artist. They're like his known love of jujitsu and wrestling were well documented. I'm like, oh shit! And then he had a boxing club in the White House.
Yeah, he was a badass. And Teddy Roosevelt was the coolest president of all time.
And he didn't stop the boxing until like he was like, I guess, got his bell rung by like an army guy, and like when he was like kind of old. So it's like.
Dude used to read a book a day when he was president. Process that.
Yeah.
How do you have that much time?
There wasn't no Twitter. There was no Twitter back then.
So the thing behind this is like it's two very different forms of things that most people are not cool with, which is like one side being physical altercation and then the other side being public speaking. And I tried to pick two like kind of funny historical figures where it would be a really bad deal to have to do that.
Bare knuckle box. Okay. Genie. So like I'm zapped back in time, or he's zapped here, or do we go to like some like Dragon Ball Z World Arena for this one-time fight?
No, it would be like in public, Well, I assume you would have to go back to like when I assume this to be like at the time where they're at their like peak, like where Teddy Roosevelt is like the coolest.
But it's
guy.
me now, not at my peak. It's like me today, having done the things I already know I'm ashamed of that I've done today.
Yes.
Oh God. I feel like I have a much better chance of doing well versus Kennedy in a debate. What are we going to debate? Anything? Do I get to pick?
I mean, it would be like a public debate, similar to like a presidential debate. So
Top,
like
is it like we both don't know the topic till we get there kind of situation?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take the Kennedy situation because I feel like I'm much more equipped to survive that.
Yeah. Nixon thought the same thing. We saw how that turned out.
Yeah, but then but then afterwards, I don't have to like win this to get zapped back to my chair, right?
Oh no, it's just like an ordeal that you have to.
It's just like it's an ordeal. Okay,
this is the next 5 hours of your life. I was thinking the Teddy Roosevelt thing till you said Roosevelt in his prime, because after his son passed, he wasn't the same man he was. So I was thinking I might have a chance, just a little bit, like right there. Because
you also knew him, so I feel like that's cheating. Like you probably were friends with him back then.
I mean, I got reach. I got pretty good reach, So I feel like that'd keep me in there for like a minute, maybe 2. But if we're talking debating, I am a masterful baiter, so. I feel like
we start hitting Kennedy with some clickbait titles. He's like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Some straight top rope, like number 3 will surprise you, and
you won't believe how fat these civil rights heroes have gotten.
Yeah, I think I could spin some heads with that. Be good.
It's a bold move, Cotton. Going right into Camelot.
And if not, I'll just poop and boner pill jokes and your mom jokes.
It's an ordeal that I don't see me like dying from or not being able to get my hands after or like I can respect.
Because it's Teddy. He's not gonna like beat you to death.
No, but it's bare knuckle. He specifically said bare knuckle.
So you get clocked. You go unconscious.
Bare knuckle is actually better for you than wearing gloves.
If you train that way, if you're a regular ass hobo, you're gonna throw punches exactly as hard as you always do and fucking jack your shit up. Like I am not trained to throw punches with without a glove on. If I even start to do well. I will cripple my pain.
They still hit you as hard as they can. It's the difference between like when you don't wear gloves, your like the instinctual part of your brain makes it to where you can't actually throw a punch as hard as you can wearing gloves because you subconsciously know that there's no cushioning there. That's why it's so much more prevalent to have like brain injuries and stuff like that when you box with gloves on, because you can hit way harder than you can when not wearing them because you're actually not protecting your knuckle bones and stuff.
I mean, part of that's true. The other reason is that the connective tissue damage in your brain takes exactly the same amount of damage whether you hit it with a fucking hammer or a pillow at the same velocity as a hammer. And the only difference is your knockout receptor doesn't get turned on, so you can keep taking punches. But if you're used to punching a heavy bag as hard as you can and you train doing that for a long fucking amount of years, then suddenly you're in a situation where you're not wearing the gloves. You might not actually punch softer, and you might just instantly cripple your painting head.
I think you'll be fine.
So as is usual, something I put a lot of thought into, don't cripple my painting hand.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, definitely need that. That's the moneymaker.
No.
I mean, you could go and make a statement and only fight with your left hand.
But then I'm going to get brain damage. You see?
Yeah.
Guaranteed. He's going to think I'm mocking him, and he's now not going to hold back, and he's going to demolish me.
I also feel like there's needs to be some old timey, like 1870s crap talking.
Yeah, it's like Queensberry
beforehand.
rules.
And everyone has to call themselves sir, you know?
Yeah.
There's a 100% chance of me dying. I just feel it. It's one of those moments.
No, not even a little bit.
or I know what's going to happen. I'm going to go back in time. I'm going to box this guy. He's going to thoroughly embarrass me. I'm going to cry. It's going to be the worst thing ever. And
you're going to poop yourself.
Poop myself for sure. Then when it's over and I'm like, the hardest ordeal of my life has ended, I snap back to the reality and everyone suddenly knows me as the guy who time traveled and shit his pants like in front of the world boxing Teddy Roosevelt because now it's a historic fact.
Oh, man.
That fucking genie. Fucking see, I know.
I still feel that that's a pretty awesome fact. Like you'd be known for that guy.
It'll be like on Jeopardy. Who's the guy who shit himself when he fucking was at the White House that one time? Kenny Boucher.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I think Teddy Roosevelt rode bears in the battle. Pretty sure.
Yeah, fuck that guy. I'm not gonna fight him.
No, you don't fight somebody like that.
No.
It's on a higher astral plane.
Good one, Wyatt. So,
who wants to hear about new releases and other such?
Ooh, I do. Me.
Fun and exciting.
Pick me.
New things.
Mm-hmm.
So there is if you missed it, there is a preview this weekend from Games Workshop. The animation spectacular. If I had to guess, I would say there's also going to be a preview next weekend as well, as a countdown clock has been started on the Age of Sigmar website.
Oh,
coincides with next Saturday about the same time as 1 p.m. So we're either going to get a pre-order, which is about the same time for maybe the new edition, or perhaps we're going to get another preview in May. That would be 3. Yeah, whatever. New stuff on the way is always good for the hobby. And I think a lot of people are excited, at least for the bad guy reveal for Age of Sigmar, to kind of see what it might be. Some new faction.
mm-hmm.
So look for that probably next Saturday. Or maybe if it's pre-order, we'll see it on this Sunday. But then they'd have to cover it all week. So I don't know. It's hard to say at this point. But either way, a new edition is coming soon. Going on pre-order this Saturday from Games Workshop is a lot of stuff, actually. And GW made some interesting calls with allocations, which they call caps, air quotes now, because allocation technically means that these are the numbers that the stores will receive, which hasn't been the case since they called them allocations. That's why it has changed them to call them caps. But they capped the Space Marine Heavy Intercessor kit at 30.
30 kits per store?
Yes.
That's a way bigger number than usual.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a huge improvement, for sure. The Heavy Intercessor Captain at 5. But the flayed ones are still 5, and the new Chronomancer is at 5 as well. So
it seems like they knew their market there a little bit. Like this is something that people were hype on, and they produced a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. Or they just, I don't know. That's interesting. I did not expect you to say fucking 30.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
That is a lot, and I think a lot of stores have a chance to do really well with them because they are something a lot of people are looking for. However, they are $60 for 5 miniatures, a little bit higher than I thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to clock in at 55, but they are $60, and the Necron Flayed ones are $50. Chronomancer and the Captain are $35 each, per the norm. Combat patrols are capped at 3 each for both the Necrons and the Space Marines, but the Space Marine one looks to be just a Vanguard start collecting plus an Impulsor, which really doesn't make much sense to have the Impulsor in there with a bunch of the Vanguard stuff. Except for the fact that it's just like, hey, this is the price points to make it all work. It does work. There is a value, but the Start Collecting box was $95. If you break down all the stuff in it, there is a little bit of a value in there, unless you didn't buy it in Shadowspear, a couple of years back. So it's, again, if it's value for you, it's a value. If not, it might be a pass for some Marine players this week when they maybe want to throw down $60 on the heavy intercessors. I don't know. Also coming out is the combat patrol for AdMech at $140 as well. Lilith is coming out for the Drukhari at $40, so she is the same price as Drazar.
But it's a separate mini?
It's separate mini from the Pain and Piety set.
I may pick that up because I liked Lilith back in the day.
She's a cool looking mini.
Yeah, I might pick that up. But 40 ducats. Rough.
The Skitarii Marshal is $30. Not sure how many of those we'll need because we really haven't seen a whole lot on him quite yet. And then kicking over to the Sigmar side of things, start collecting Soulblight Grave Lords is $95, which is the only way to get the White Lord on Mounted White Lord that they previewed a few previews back. And the rest of it is Wave 2 stuff for the Vampires, Radikar the Beast, the new Direwolves kit, Baladama Volga. I think that's the older looking lady riding the wolf. Those are all $50 kits. The Start Collecting box is $95, of course. And Lady Annika, the Thirsting Blade, is $35, and the Rat Prince are $35. I think those were both new Miniature Mondays that we saw when there was that slowdown a few months back. Codex AdMech, as expected, is $50. The data cards are $25. The dice are $35, and there's a Warhammer Underworlds Canaan's Reapers, which is the Bone Lords.
Boner Lords?
Yes. Warband for $40. So this month's White Dwarf is out. It does have Fallen Space Marine rules in it. Yeah. So they've updated all that. It's got Cypher on the cover. You can't miss it.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Well, a lot of people like Cypher.
Yeah, he's the best.
You could go over the rules.
They have kind of been bringing a little bit of value back with White Dwarf lately. So hopefully that trend continues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being so stoked to get the World Eaters update in 3rd edition in the White Dwarf. That shit was the hypest day of my life. So I'm with it. No, what is the Fallout? What is the Fallout rules? New keywords, new stratagems, or?
There are some stratagems. There's some war gear. There's some traits, if I recall correct. There's 2 stratagems. A lot of it is just changing keyword Chaos Space Marine to keyword Fallen on a lot of things too. I mean, because let's be real.
It's just a copy and paste from Vigilus, is what John Patrick in chat said. Is what he heard.
It's updated Vigilus, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
If you don't have Vigilus, it's $8 instead, or whatever it is now.
Well, I mean, Bellacor's Age of Sigmar rules were basically an updated version of the Everchosen book that came out a year before. So they're not doing a whole lot of super new content. And a lot of the content they're just kind of splitting apart and putting in campaign books. But yeah, it's definitely got its 9th edition wording, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, it's a clone of Vigilus with 9th edition words instead.
Yep.
Which is what I expected.
That's kind of the big stuff for Games Workshop. Although we did see that there is going to be a Sisters of Battle comic book series coming from Marvel. I think that's coming very soon, actually. And Joy Toy announced that there will be a 40K probably Space Marine action figure. And by action figure, I don't mean the Bandai or the McFarlane. So this is going to be, I think it was 105 millimeters tall, which is basically 4 inches. So it's going to be OG G.I. Joe size or Star Wars figure size.
Snake Eyes, you thought you were good. Space Marine.
You're about to get power armored.
You're about to get power armored. You're over.
Their action figures on their site are around $30. So it may be slightly more than a McFarlane figure and definitely less than a Bandai figure, but the quality looks really good. Like super dope paint jobs, obviously multiple points of articulation. I don't think they have the little rubber band in there like back in the day, but
that's the best part.
Yeah. Who made those? Who makes those?
Joy Toy, JOYTOY.
Cool.
Joy Toy, really? That's their name?
Yeah.
They don't make dildos? Like
you've chosen poorly.
Yeah, that's a name. I hope they do at least.
But along those lines, by the way, the McFarlane Hellblaster that was supposed to like not be out yet. I had one on pre-order. I got mine. So
the painted one or I think there's
the artist proof, artist proof one.
Yep.
So just wanted to throw that out there because I'd pre-ordered it when they announced it and I wasn't really paying attention and then showed up. I was like, oh, I didn't think these were out yet.
There.
Is that the unpainted one?
Yeah. The artist proof. Yeah.
Didn't Wyatt did you get one of those too, Wyatt?
I just got one of the regular ones.
And then you touched it up.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember you painted on it.
But I
have both.
Yeah.
When are they going to make a Chaos Marine?
I don't know.
How many wounds will he have? It's a more important question.
One wound.
There is only one wound.
Okay.
Oh, laugh, cry. Next week, the Judgment Kickstarter featuring Creature Caster miniatures will be ending on Tuesday, and it has done really well. And I'm sure there'll be time. There's obviously still time to back it if you're into that. I think they're looking at, I don't know if they're available, but a lot of people have been like, hey, I just want the minis. I don't know if there's going to be a solution for that, but that sounds pretty dope too, because a lot of those would be pretty cool just to sell, the miniature wise. So look for that. Get your pledge in for that before next Tuesday. It's kind of off a little bit outside of wargaming, but more like real life ish that I think a lot of us have probably at least had some sort of experience with in the past. Walmart and Target have had a lot of struggles with the trading cards as of late because a lot of the YouTube influencers and personalities are like talking about all I did was, just collect cards or just collect Pokemon. And then, Jake Paul and even Steve Aoki has really been in a Pokemon for like the past 6 months or so. And, it's kind of driven people into this fervor to pick up the stuff because, there wasn't a lot going on in life, right? Everybody's stuck at home. And Walmart and Target have been like ground zero for Pokemon aisle fights and incidents, and people were camping out in front of Targets, and there was, it was like 20 years ago all over again.
I will punch an elderly person in their face if they get in the way of me and my Pokemons.
So there was even people were tagging the delivery trucks with like GPS finders so they would know.
That's next level.
Fucking
that's amazing.
Impressive.
Very impressive. And they're affordable now. Like, I'm not advocating it. I'm just saying, that seems like some spy movie shit, but it's actually, I looked into it. I was like, this is actually shockingly affordable to do.
To get a little GPS.
Yeah. And the battery
Rob's about to start slapping those on GW shipments.
It's crazy out there. So there was a lot of separate incidents. Target issued a statement. They're like, no more trading cards. Done for now.
Really?
Yeah. So Target was like, no, sir. And Walmart, a bunch of Walmarts put up a similar sign, but apparently the management chose poorly. It was not, sanctioned by corporate. And Walmart is open for business, trading cards all day, every day. So they're cashing in. You can still get your stuff at Walmart, just so everybody knows, because there's a little bit of confusion there.
I get it. Pokemon was a thing. Like I didn't watch the cartoon. It's even
worse than it was.
I didn't play the game, the card game. But when that fucking Pokemon shit came out on Game Boy, I was like, "What is this dumb shit?" And I started playing on Game Boy. I was like, "Oh, I get it. It's fucking amazing." and recently, Bonet's been playing this VR fishing game, which is, she's like, "You don't even understand this fucking fishing game." I was like, "You're playing a VR fishing game? You play like the first person shooters and shit." She's like, I don't know why. It's just so fucking good." I jump in there and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's fucking Pokemon fishing." I was like, you might need to stop playing this game right now before you get too far. It's literally a world map. You go to little zones. You're doing this little action. You're literally casting, and you're like looking at little, like where the things are, what the best lures are, and you have to do some things. You catch them, and then like you're looking for the rare ones to put in your fish tank and shit. I was like, "Oh, yep. You need to stop playing this game immediately."
It's literally fish Pokemon.
I was like, the next DLC is gonna be like new tanks, like new ways to level up your fish with special fish food and like fucking tackle shops and shit. Get the fuck out of here! Stop. Ban the ship.
Could be bad. Could go poorly. But yep. So just so you know where you can get your cardboard crack at currently. Well, now you know. Also, I didn't mention it earlier, but Koyo store, Koyo, sorry, isn't as cool of a name as Joy Toy, has 40K pins and other dope little ornamental things that you can put on your backpacks or your army bags and things. And they're pretty decently priced, and they seem to be of a high quality that you would come to expect, and not too pricey. So we did an article on that earlier today. I thought it was definitely worth mentioning if you just want a little bling for your bags.
Is it Toy Joy or Joy Toy?
I think it's Joy Toy.
But spelled all weird, right?
It's spelled with eyes. Joito. I think it's TOI. I think that's how you spell it. I have to look it up.
Just want to make sure I go to the right website, because currently I'm looking at a bunch of things that are not what you were saying they are.
Did they start are the brands Hitachi?
No. No.
No. Okay. Yeah, just checking. You might be on the wrong website there. Oh, and also another non-tabletop thing, but I like Legos, so we're going to talk about Legos for a minute. I'm in all sorts of weird stuff. I'm having my own quarantine thing. The Daily Bugle is coming out. It's a ginormous set. It looks pretty neat. Comes with 25 minifigs. Some of them first time ever available for the Marvel Universe. And I think that goes on sale June 1st.
That's pretty fucking hype. I know some people are really into Lego. I watched some videos, time-lapse videos of people Legoing some Millennium Falcons and shit.
Oh, there's some, dude, between that and the Star Destroyer, those are like $800 for some of those.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
It's a whole nother thing. Legos. Yeah, no joke.
Yeah, people go to like Lego World and stuff.
Well, there's Lego stores, just like Disney stores and stuff, that you can go and get your exclusives at. I got a few Lego kits around here.
Huh. That makes sense. Because when I think of Legos, I think it's like I was a kid and I just had some Legos and I was slapping bitches together and be like, okay. But I guess if I had taken it to the next level, I would have gotten into the subculture of it. All right. I no longer look down on Legos.
Or graduated into model kits, and then model kits to gaming and hobbying.
Yeah. No. I was about to I was about to poo-poo it, and then I was like, nah, I respect it. I'm with it.
I bet you Legos were a big thing in the 80s and the 70s. If I had to guess. If I had to guess.
I wouldn't know.
I don't know. Just throwing it out there. So that's all I got for this week's Tabletop Market Watch. Overall, it seems like things are getting slightly better with the G-dubs, but more to come.
30 fucking heavy intercessors allocation is fucking big news, man.
I'm thinking about, I have all the data. I just got to collate it. Like all of the, everything that's hit the ports in the past year or so.
With them GPS trackers, I'm telling you.
No, no, it wasn't that. But what I want to do is look at the levels, the levels of freight coming in and see if it ever let up, because I haven't done that. And if I can put it in a spreadsheet and actually like month by month up until like December, and then December, as we started seeing these like ridiculous numbers and everybody was like, oh, well, they're just holding it at their store. They're just selling it online. Were they still bringing in the same levels of stock? There's no way to tell exactly what was in those pallets, because unless they come from China, because the ones that come from England, they're actually black shrink wrap. So you can't see the pallets. Genius.
Motherfucker has a drone out there with a fucking GoPro on it. You.
No, I don't. I just have the internet. All the information is out there. You just got to know where to find it.
Somebody had to put it on the internet, though. Looking at you.
What? Did they black shrink wrap their pallets?
Yeah. Who was the first guy to put that picture up?
Nobody has that picture. Because I haven't published it.
That's what I thought. That's what I was getting at.
From your drone.
From your fucking drone with a GoPro attached to it, man.
All right, you got me.
Fuck out of here. We got some GT stuff to talk on, but first I'm going to promote it because we only get 2 more promotions. DiceCheck, the hottest group of war gamers putting out sexy content on the internet right now.
So hot right now. Those DiceChecks.
The highest quality out there, to be fair. I feel like these are the only set of guys that like are doing this professionally, but like actually being professionals about it, and like the amount of work that they're putting into this. Cause like a lot of guys, they're like, well, they do this professionally, but it's still just a bunch of guys like, and let's just turn a fucking camera on and Forrest Gump our way.
Or taking it too seriously, like it's a movie set. Like you need to like it's clear. I saw their behind the scenes and everything. It's clear that it is like a movie set, but they also let the culture of wargaming exist.
Yes,
and so it doesn't have to be perfect as far as like what is said, how it's said. People can stumble. People can it's still the culture of like what we do when we go and play our war games, but it's presented at an incredibly high level and it's live, and that's. Like, I can't even watch not live battle reports. Like, that is just off the table now. Like,
their audio and visual quality is just, it's worlds above what other people are doing.
And it's fun to watch.
Doesn't Matt edit all the videos?
I think they edit down some of them to the DiceCheck YouTube channel. Not all of them, because they have a Patreon page as well. So they have some of them, I think, go to Patreon. Some of them remain subscriber only on Twitch. And then some, I think, of the, like the heater stuff that would draw people in goes edited to YouTube, I believe. It's a pretty standard model on the distribution of their content, but not standard in the quality of the content is. Right. And also the type of content is not just battle report content. There's a lot of cool segments, stuff like that. It's they got a good group of guys who others also have YouTube channels. Magic Carb Use Fly. Matt, they got Bricky, Jamaica, this guy like John P. He cracks me up when I watch their stuff. So these guys are killing it, right? We've had them on a podcast a few times, and I am officially playing my first game of Warhammer 9th edition on the 29th, the last Saturday of May. I believe the time is 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when it starts.
It is. I talked to Matt earlier today to confirm that.
There it is. And it'll be on their Twitch channel.
Yep. Twitch.tv/DiceCheck.
Bruh, I can't tell you guys how excited. Oh, please. I'm going to need some encouragement.
Like, sir, was that 2 6s or were those 2 1s? Those look like 2 1s from up here. I'm going to need you to reroll.
I'm going to need you to pull that for me a couple times when it doesn't look good. I'm going to need some.
What are you running?
My Death Guard, which is.
Okay.
Even better.
My lockdown army. I started the project in I want to say June or July last year, I believe, is the when I launched the first 101 video where I did the Spellcraft Marines for my army. And so it's just been like my lockdown project. And I finally finished it, you know, a little while ago. And I mean, it was done, but then I had those 2 defilers. You guys remember those defilers back when War of the Spider came out?
Yep.
And it was like, oh my God, feel no pain on defilers. Oh, just beating off to it, you know? And then 9th edition dropped, and then we were like in flux, and then a new codex came out, and they do not have feel no pain or even -1 damage, the new rule. But they do hit harder, like they have better ballistic skill, weapon skill. So it was like, oh, okay, like there was a shortage of defilers. I moved heaven and earth, got with Wyatt, who made me all these bits. I greased stuff like for a million seconds, tentacle maker stuff. And I had these 2 things built. And so I did the whole project, leaving those things alone. It was done. It was looking good. And they just kept looking at me like, dog, come on. Like, we're not dope. Like, we're not as dope as we were, but we're still tight, man. What about all these hours you put into us? You know, like, why 3D printed these turrets, dog? You know, so then I painted those up, and I finished. So I will say that it feels really good. And I think that the feeling you get cannot be understated from the accomplishment of a project like that. And that is what the initial video I launched with the whole thing was all about, that 101 curriculum, that sustainability. But I went a little beyond it. I went a little hard. Like I used it to comfort myself during 2020 and finished it. Then I got post-Project Depression. They became dead to me as I pursued the new stuff.
You went in a project hole?
Yeah, absolutely. And then we jumped on Blood Angels and the new detachment. And then, you know, if you've been listening to the podcast, you know, that's been my life now for the last month or so. But then now going to San Diego and playing on stream, my first game in 9th edition, and I have my Death Guard ready, the project that got me through 2020, basically, that I'm very proud of. The feelings are coming back, you know, like, and now the Blood Angels have become dead to me. And I'm like, let's fucking do it. And so the big announcement is I'm going to be playing both of those fucking defilers that almost didn't get painted, that I considered actually just giving away on my show. Like just built and converted.
Yeah, I told you to hang on to them, man.
I did. And so I'm forcing myself because they called to me. Both those defilers are going to be jammed into the list. There's going to be elements from the whole project, all the videos I've released, all the tutorials. You'll be able to see them on that stream doing their fucking best. I'll be playing against Matt, and he's playing Tyranids. And your boy's going to do his best to pull a dub down, but those guys have not been slacking. They've been playing a lot of games, and they know their shit. So I really am looking forward to asking a lot of questions and getting a crash course in 9th edition.
9th edition is interesting. Definitely like it.
I mean, it looks really good as objectively as a guy who just talks about it a lot, who's never played it. I think.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing. When you play any edition, you have, you know, it's like we talked about in the pregame. You're going to have knowledge, and you're going to have tactics, and you're going to, you know, be a little bit more at a better advantage than someone that just started out this edition.
That's the pitch. The pitch is I'm a veteran and he's still technically a beginner, but I've never played 9th edition. And also I haven't played a game in over a year. So I'm also just straight rusty. Like on top of
ring rust. Gotta knock that ring rust off.
You know, so I think it's a good match. It's got a good sell. I'm gonna be really excited to kick it with that crew. You know, try to fucking pull it down. It's got me super stoked. I pulled on my case behind me, if you're watching, is empty suddenly. Cause I went out and pulled all my Death Guards out, set them all up over there. They're in my eye line so I can see them at all times and maintain that hypeness, you know, like, yeah, dog. You know, so it's getting a little ridiculous out here. Just tore all the incursion pages out of my GT handbook, threw them everywhere. Then Haspil got mad at me and stapled them back together.
You'd be throwing books away.
So it's going to be hype. I just wanted to throw that promo out there. That's happening. So I guess now let's talk about that GT, Wyatt.
Oh, yeah. Been a big old GT. Maryland Open, excuse me.
We should talk about that store real quick.
I don't know what the store is called, but you do.
So it's Towers, Tables and Towers.
Sounds right.
It's a store. Anthony Birdsong. It's his store.
Yeah.
And it's basically in a mall. He's kind of taken over the center of the mall. I got a FaceTime, and it is a gorgeous store, and he's got all sorts of stuff going on in there, and also the video games, like retro video games, and you can rent out that side and stuff too. So it's like everything you want at games. There's even a snack bar.
That sounds cool.
Pretty fresh.
Yeah, so they had 106 people turn out for this one. A lot of East Coast talent showing up. Mm-hmm. People traveling to that. But any of you guys want to take a guess on what won that tournament? Take a wild guess.
I'm proud of myself because I got it. Because I got it. I got it through process of elimination pretty quickly earlier.
It wasn't Grey Knights. Sorry.
No.
It was White Scars. Excuse me if I butchered this last name, but Patrick McEnany won with some White Scars. Pretty like straightforward White Scars list. It's kind of what we've been seeing a lot of from the White Scars stuff. You got your characters on bikes, check. Got some assaulty boys, some assault intercessors, check. Got a bunch of blade guard, check. And you got your Vanguard veterans with lightning claw storm shields. And then they're backed up by 6 multi-melta attack bikes. And you had some land speeder storms in there. That's a venerable old model kit we haven't seen a lot of in a long time. And he was able to go undefeated, but with it being a 5-round event, there was actually 3 undefeated people.
White Scars OP, enough said.
Yeah. We've been living in this like Drukhari OP world, but there was only one Drukhari player in the top 5. And there was only 3 in the top 10, but they each took an L. So, and then we also had Death Guard in the top 5 and 2 Cult Mechanicus in the top 5.
I think wasn't there a Necron too?
There was a Necron player
in top 10.
Yep, top 10. There was a Necrons player, and then Black Templars and Sisters of Battle in top 10.
Quite the run.
Yeah, so congrats to those guys. Kurt Phillips coming in undefeated with Drukhari. Daniel Kennedy also coming in undefeated with Cult Mechanicus. We got John Toolman with Death Guard, and Mark Fertel with Cult Mechanicus. And Mark was at Dallas, you might remember. He played John Lennon in the final game and just barely lost out to John with the Cult Mechanicus. And he played, if I remember the record right, he played like 4 Dark Eldar in a row and beat all of them until he got to John. So he knows what he's about. He knows that Cult Mechanicus. He beat Sean with his Inari. So he was laying it down with that Cult Mechanicus stuff.
It's pretty fucking strong. I mean, think about it. So there's like 2 Space Marine players. There was like a Black Templar and a White Scar, right? 1 Death Guard, 3 Drukhari in the top 10, but 2 of them took L's, or 3 of them took L's, all 3?
Yeah, so the Kurt Phillips with Drukhari, he went undefeated, he got 2nd place.
Okay, so 1.
And then in the top 10, there were 2 more Drukhari players, but each of those guys took an L.
So Drukhari is still the most represented singular faction in the top 10. Not super faction, but
barely by 1.
Yeah, because Space Marines were 2 and won it. Drukhari were 3, got 2nd place. But in Chaos was only in it once with Death Guard. Sisters were in it once, but Cult Mechanicus was also in it twice. They were 3rd and like 4th or something or 3rd and.
Death Guard got 4th. Cult Mechanicus undefeated with 3rd and 4 and 1 in 5th place. That's
and then like a pocket Necron.
Yeah, that's 6th place. He went 4 and 1. He actually outscored the top 3 players with just barely. So he got 434 battle points, and then it was 430, 423, and 412. 1, 2, and 3. So he actually outscored top 3, but because he took that L, he's 6th place.
That's a pretty dope mix right there, man. That's
And then I saw this on their Facebook post after the fact, but I can see it now in the app here. Sean actually outscored everybody at the event, but he went 3-2.
Because he must have lost a couple of rounds, but
He did.
just a couple of points.
He went 3-2, but he scored 443 battle points, which is the highest score.
yeah. He obviously his 2 losses were probably by the skin of his teeth, probably like 2-point losses, and
Yeah.
So do you get like best general or something? How's
I'm
that
not
work?
sure what the awards were. I don't think he was able to take any of the top awards just because you have like best general and then like best overall.
I think it's like first place the highest points undefeated. It's undefeated is first place. Battle points are the tiebreaker, and then I think he would go to the next second place. Basically, is best general. The second.
So we're getting from the chat that Sean is first in the ITC right now.
Oh, cool.
Pretty cool. He's also front runner for the Texas belt. He's going to be there this Saturday for Alamo. He's also coming to Lone Star Open because he wants that Texas belt.
This Yankee coming down there and stealing your shit.
I know. Some of our more tryhards need to step it up a little bit. I don't have the time to compete like that in 40K anymore, but we got some pretty hard hitters down here. I think they just need to step their game up a little bit with some of these out of towners coming.
I'm saying he goes to like a Maryland GT, loses 2 fucking games, but every time he goes to Texas, he can't be beaten. I'm just saying there's a clear.
We have a lot of people here that don't travel outside of the Texas circuit. And I feel like, I'm not saying they should, because it's like, dude, you got to leave that up to like what people want to do and like their financial state. Like most people can't afford to just like fly all over the place every month. Right. But I do think that some of our guys should travel a little bit more, like get out, see some different metas and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just shouldn't try to insult you guys. But like, you clearly can't keep up with the Northeast.
I mean, I'm not even that. I mean, I can't talk mad shit because I'm not that type of player like I used to be. I just go and I go win positive at every event I go to. I'm happy with that.
Sound like you're not part of the solution out there in Texas, holding that back.
I mean, just real talk. I just don't have the time. I'd have to give up everything else that I do and just be like 40K all day, every day.
Kind of feel like we're close. We just actually have to play more.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Because I feel like I am 40K all day, every day, minus the playing part.
Yeah, we're also like working, and we're not working. We're doing like content stuff.
Some people disagree with me that I'm working.
I mean, I don't.
That's up to them.
Yeah, they don't know.
They're just mad because they don't have a cool job like you have.
It's not a coincidence that I made my job look a whole lot like fucking around on a computer. Because I like fucking around on a computer, so I was like, let's do that. Remember,
jealousy.
Didn't graduate college because of fucking around on a computer, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, more content.
Yeah, man.
for
Why
the
don't you
community
get a
is
real
better.
job where somebody is your boss and can yell at?
Because then I gotta cut my hair and shit, dude. Like,
Yeah,
what?
fuck that.
Yeah, like different
Yeah.
than what it is now.
Yeah, I'm sure that.
I like.
What'd you do different about
I
your
like
hair?
doing what I do, and if that means that like I don't win GTs like I used to 5-6 years ago, I'm okay with that.
I mean, everyththing's cyclical. Like everybody becomes more vested in something else. Like when something is, what you earn your living from, it's not necessarily the thing you have or want to do in your free time. Like I find I like hobbying on the yard, and it's in a competitive format where I keep pushing myself to learn how to use new power tools and how much shit can I put in this wheelbarrow. I really game the F out of that. But maybe a little Marvel protocol on the side. So
I started reading chat, and all I heard was you have a wheelbarrow full of Marvel Crisis Protocol miniatures.
that was basically what I said.
That's what he said. Yeah.
You didn't lose anything whatsoever. Like, oh shit, can I trim all these azaleas before tomorrow when the town refuse truck comes by with its like big mechanical claw and will get all of this out of the yard if I put it out by the street. Like that's the competitive format I like playing these days.
Yeah.
That's
It's all about like what makes you happy, right? Like my personal enjoyment at a tournament does not revolve around winning the tournament. Like I just like going and seeing all my homies. Like I think I get more enjoyment not even playing 40K at tournaments. I get more enjoyment just like seeing people and hanging out. And then if I win, that's like icing on the cake. So it's like if I go to a 5-round tournament and I win 3 games, then like I'm fucking happy.
Yeah, I feel you.
I just try, like, if I show up and I actually can play, like, on a Saturday, which it seems like all the local tournaments have always been on a Saturday if there's a preview, so I got to work that in the morning. But, like, I'm just happy being the ringer. Like, if there's an odd number, like, I'll just play somebody. I'll be like, dude, whatever happens, you're getting a win. Let's just have some fun, you know?
I like being the ringer, too, because I'm like, I'm going to wreck that ass. You thought you were getting a buy?
I don't think you understand how this works.
Oh man, I can't wait to play some.
I like the tourneys. I mean, I like going there and meeting everybody, but for me, it's about the hype before the tourney.
Oh yeah,
it's like as soon as we were like, we're going to Vegas, all of a sudden that chip activated. And it was like, wait a minute, okay, now I need to actually like pay attention to these units because it might matter.
For me, that's what keeps me
I'll just take these guys, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't paint shit when I'm not motivated. Like I need the tournament crunch. Yeah. I need that timetable to be like, I have to get this stuff done by June 10th or like whatever, or else I'll just like, I won't do it. Like I'll focus on doing other things.
The hype before the storm.
If you wait till the last second, it only takes a second.
That's a true scientific fact, as Mike has.
I waited until right before this podcast to finish painting my fucking death shroud that I need for Alamo this weekend. But they're done. They're done.
Nice.
It's just science. Oh man. Also, I guess you want to shout out Berserk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some unfortunate news. Kentaro Miura, who's the creator of Berserk. He's been doing it for 32 years. If you can believe that. Berserk started in 1989, 1 year before I was born. And he's been consistently, semi-consistently penning and drawing that manga. And unfortunately, he passed away. I don't know the exact day. I mean, it may have been a few days ago, but his health had been failing. Everybody kind of knew it past few years. He's taking lots of like hiatuses. I think there's been like 3 new chapters in the past like 2 years. So yeah, unfortunate. I feel bad for him. Hope he got some peace because he definitely battled with the like the responsibility and the crunch of like continuing Berserk a number of times. And he would like stop and then he would come back to it. And so, you know, I'm sad that he passed. And I'm also sad that, as it seems right now, Berserk will never get finished. It's just going to end where it ends. And we'll never find out like the final arc of whatever he had planned. So it's disappointing, but you know, it's about the journey. Like I think there's something like approximately like 3,000 to 4,000 pages of that story going back 32 years. So it's about the journey. Just like enjoy it for what it is.
It's fucking crazy, man. Love that anime.
Yeah. I mean, I posted about it. Like Berserk it wasn't the first manga that I ever read, but it was the first manga that I read that was like legit, like art and literature. Like it had like a legit story. It wasn't just about like, you know, making a fun adventure action comedy type comic for teenagers, which is what most manga is, right? Like this was like a real story. Every single panel is a staggering work of art, which is why it took so long for him to do it, because his art is just amazing. And And then the original anime is like the first. I think it is the first anime that I ever bought on DVD, like with my own money, and I still have it. It's my foot rocker in my closet. Still, the discs are scratched and worn out and barely run anymore because they're like DVDs from 2002 or something like that. Like the case is all cracked and battered, but
I will never forget the sound of that like DVD selection screen with the tree in the background.
Yeah.
With that music on loop.
The soundtrack is like, I still have the soundtrack to this day. Like I keep finding it. I keep finding remixes of it. Like I keep collecting it. Like one of the best soundtracks to an animated show, period. Super good. I still remember like every episode, every line.
Yep. Well, fuck. It said that I guess it officially was May 6th when he passed, and I guess it just kind of made the rounds in the last couple of days on the internet.
Yeah, I mean, their culture is much more private than Western culture, so it doesn't surprise me that it took a while to break.
Disappointing. Very sad. Well, anything else besides honoring an epic figure in our pop culture, at least our young pop culture? Shut it down, Rob.
Haspil, take us out of here.
Excellent. Steven is my name. I'm the most wanted man on my island. Except we're not on my island. More's the pity.